It's about a minute to 10 o'clock, and that's when we'll get the stream started. I just wanted to make sure everything was going okay. And it looks like we are live. Okay. So it looks like my clock was wrong on my my computer, so I'm just gonna get started right now. So basically, I have a brand new PC case that I printed out and designed, and basically it's more of a proof of concept. I really wanted to play around with a different shape of a PC case, and in turn I also just kind of played around with the layout of the components inside the PC. And basically I'm going to see if I can put it together today. And another thing too is I normally use heat inserts for a lot of my PC cases and in putting the panels together, but this time around I'm going to be trying out a new method, which is basically just gluing it together to see if it's strong enough. I am a little concerned about it, but we'll see how that goes. And just as background, I printed everything out in my Tech X Max 3, and obviously I have a large printer and the parts here are fairly large, so it is going to be kind of a limitation if you do want to try to print out this PC case, because it is going to take a large printer to do it. And let me actually just go over the parts. So let's start off with this thing here. So this is going to be the front panel of the case. This is going to be what you're going to see in the front. And as you can see, this part's pretty large. So that's that. I'm going to keep this over here for now. And let's just start from the front here. This is a GPU retention bracket, and here I'm going to be putting in 3 heat inserts. Even though I said I'm not going to be using heat inserts for the panels, I am going to be putting in some heat inserts for a few parts though. I just think they need it. So this is going to use 3 heat inserts, and then this is going to be, these 2 parts are going to be the back panel. And as you can see, even with the large printer that I do have, I was not able to print everything out in one piece, and I had to basically put them in pieces, and I'll be gluing these together later on. So I'm just going to put this over here, and these are parts for the front. They just kind of go on the front. I'll show you in a bit. And we'll put that there. And then these 2 pieces here are for the bottom half. They're going to be the side panels for the bottom. And let me think. So these parts are going to be making up the lid, or the top quote-unquote panels for the PC case. And I'll be putting these on later, so I'm going to put them over here for now. And then we'll move on to this. So this is going to be the side panel where the on the GPU side, and this will be the side panel for the motherboard side. And as you can see, it does have the mounting holes for the motherboard, and I'll be putting heat inserts into these parts. And you'll also notice that there are some holes over here, and basically those are spaced out for a 120 millimeter fan or a 120 millimeter radiator. And last but not least, this is the foot or base of the case. And I'm really hoping I made this strong enough. In order to save some filament, I did make the bottom part. I did not have the bottom layers printed, and I hope it's strong enough. It is pretty stiff, but I guess we'll find out once we actually have components in the computer to see if they are going to be strong enough. And then also as more background, again, I printed it out in the G-Tech X Max 3. The materials I used were all PETG with glass fiber inside them. So obviously there's the white, and we've got the orange, and what I just showed you was the gray. So these are all PETG with glass fiber inside them. And yeah, so I guess I could just start. It's kind of I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of worried about putting this together because I am going to be gluing them together. And then also, in order for me to align the pieces, it might be hard to see. Let me change the zoom on this. Give me 1 second. You'll notice that the parts, actually there's heat inserts on these ones, but you'll notice there are little holes like this, and this, and this, and basically those are, I mean, those are optional. I don't think I need them, but I probably will just use them. You'll see even more over here, here, and here, and basically I'm just going to take some filament here, and I'll be using these as, I guess, like location holes, and it'll just help align it while I glue the parts together. And the glue I'll be using, I just zoomed out too soon. I've never used this stuff, but it's called the Craft Prots 3D Printing Super Glue, and apparently it should be good for ABS, PLA, PETG, and TPU. I mean, it's essentially just CA glue or super glue. Yeah, that's, was it cyanacrylate? But I'm sure it has other compounds in there to make it more flexible or whatever. But we'll see how this goes. Again, I've never used this glue, but it does say it's for 3D printing, and so I'll give it a try to see how it works. And yeah, so without further ado, let me just go ahead and start gluing, because we've got a lot of gluing to do. And I think, how do I want to attack this? I think I'm going to glue these two parts together first. Let's do that. Okay. Maybe I'll get some tape out just in case I need to hold some parts together. And then I guess if I have tape, I need some scissors. So let's grab some scissors too. All right. Okay. Yeah. Well, let's get this started. I am kind of worried about this, but let's see. It looks like there's already a hole on this, so I don't need to puncture it. And I probably should have read the directions beforehand, but I mean it's just super glue, so it must react the same way. Let's just start applying. Let's see how this goes. Let's see. Okay, it is fairly wet. Let's see how it goes. Okay, I guess it takes some time to dry. I probably should have bought some activator or something. Unless this stream is going to be cut short due to this glue not working. I mean, worst comes to worst, what I can also do is just, my fallback plan was just to grab my soldering iron and glue these things together. We got Evie Design saying, yo, new haircut looks great, thanks. Yeah, I've been practicing cutting my own hair since like COVID, so that's why sometimes you'll see me with like a shaved head, because I just kind of give up on it and just let it do its thing. But this one turned out kind of okay. Looking around, it was a lot worse last night. I was FaceTiming my mom and my sister, and they were making fun of my hair, so I had to go back in the garage to cut it. Okay, so I think it's dried. Not really. But luckily for this, there's going to be parts glued to it that will hopefully hold it together. But so far, though, I'm not sure how I feel about this glue. But I mean, I think it's too soon to tell. Okay, so yeah, this is the back panel. As you can see, it's fairly large. It would not fit inside my printer. So if you are going to be printing this, I hope you have a large printer like I do. My printer bed size is 325 millimeters by 325 millimeters. So if you don't have one that size, unfortunately, you're going to have to slice it up even smaller in your slicer if you want to attempt this PC case. This is just a proof of concept. I do intend to change it up later on to make it more friendly, but I just wanted to make sure that the layout itself can work. Okay, so I think I'm going to let this like dry off a little bit and then move on to the other parts. Or do I need to? Maybe I do need to actually just keep it handy nearby. Yeah, I think I might need to just keep it nearby. But I did want to mention something. When I printed out this case, when I printed these two parts, I printed them out together, and they were on the bed like this, and they were over here. And unfortunately, this corner was closer to like my door over there, and I think it cooled off slightly, and so it ended up basically warping, which kind of sucks. I normally don't experience that with PETG and glass fiber or carbon fiber, but I think because I was going in and out of the house, there was probably a draft I created. I had all the doors open, and it was also at the very corner of the build plate, and maybe I didn't clean it well enough because, I mean, you know, hands are gross. But anyways, that's unfortunate that we did have some defects here. But beyond that, though, the way I printed them, there was really not much post-processing needed. Like, I think at most I had to remove like a purge line because the prints were so big that the purge line was actually within the print bed too, or sorry, the print area. But otherwise, it was kind of just all printed out in one go. Yeah, so let's go ahead and start putting more of these pieces together. I hope this is dry enough now. I mean, it is CA, so it should dry pretty fast. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay. And so let me go ahead and start putting on the rest of this thing. It's really hard to kind of wrap my head around how I want to approach it, though. Like, I know that this part has to go like this. Okay, let me show you what I meant about needing some filament to basically get these parts together. So again, there's like little, you can't really see them, but there's little holes throughout the print, and they're basically just little guide holes that I'll be using to make sure that things are aligned while I'm gluing them. All right, now I'm just going to put some glue in the little holes before I put in a little bit of filament in there, and it's going to again act as like a guide. Okay, so I'm just gonna do that, and then just as background, this is the first time I've ever done this, so if it doesn't work, well, I guess it was worth the experiment, I suppose. Okay, and basically I'm just gonna stuff it in there while it's glued, and then maybe cut it around like 2 millimeters, maybe. I think that should be good, 2 mils, because it's really just to like align the pieces, not really to like technically hold them together. I mean, it'll definitely help, but it's mainly just for making sure the parts stay in place while they're gluing. Every designer wrote, I'm waiting for fun die, and yeah, me too. And then Every Design's right. Did you get HTPLA? No, I did not, but I do have that's the high temp PLA, but I did get some like tough PLA. I don't know if they're the same. They're probably not the same thing, but there's going to be an upcoming video I'm doing that I can only use PLA with, so I'm gonna give that tough PLA a try. Okay, so I've just glued in some filament guides. I don't know what we're gonna call them that, but yeah, they're just like sticking up around like 2 to 3 millimeters. This one's a little longer, but not. I don't think it's the end of the world. And essentially, they're gonna stick out and hopefully help align the pieces while I glue them. And this particular piece here is gonna go right here, but let me go ahead and see if I got my holes aligned. And so you'll notice there are, it's hard to see. It's also because of the exposure is a little off here. But you'll notice that there are corresponding holes that go and hopefully align with the little nubs that we just put in. All right, so fingers crossed. Hopefully this works out. I'm actually wondering, should I wait? No, but I think I need to put these in now in order for the other ones to come in. So let's just go ahead and do it. Looking back now, maybe I should have put in the wall. What do you call it? I should have made the wall further in to the piece so that it has more surface area to actually glue, because right now I didn't really think that through, but basically I'm gluing like a flat surface into a mesh pattern, so the amount of actual contact is like quite low, so that's kind of a, I didn't really think about that. That's kind of a fail, but we do have Fun Dine in here. Fun Dine, good to see you. All right, but let me just try gluing it together. Let's see how this goes. So I'm gonna drop in some glue inside the little guide holes, and then just slather glue on this edge. I probably don't want to put too much, considering it might like drip on the table. Actually, maybe I should have grabbed like a piece of paper. I probably should. Give me a second. All right, luckily I did have like a 8.5 piece of paper here. So this part here will go in here. Okay, at least the hole's aligned. Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know how well that's gonna hold, but I guess I'll just leave it there for now. Yeah, I'm not really trusting how much surface area is being glued together right now. But I mean, like I said, worst comes to worst, I'll just bust out the soldering iron and we'll just melt them together. But for now, I think that's okay. I wish I had a way to like clamp it. I think clamping it would really be helpful, because it does kind of want to fall. I do have tape, or maybe we just leave it. I think activator would have been good too. Can I just blow on it maybe? I think soldering might be the play for this one though. Or maybe we just buy more just buy more heat inserts. One of the reasons why I'm trying to reduce the amount of heat inserts I'm using is because I'm literally like running out of them, and buying them isn't as easy anymore. I used to, I do get some on Amazon, sometimes McMaster Car, but obviously, considering I was buying like hundreds of them, it was better just to buy them on like AliExpress. But buying stuff on there is not the not to jam at the moment, just because of like increased costs for importing. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do the other side. I hope I'm doing this right. Maybe I should actually put in like the panel instead, but I can still put in these. There's gonna be a lot of these we have to put in. So, and we might not have everything done on this stream because I do kind of have a hard cutoff at around 12:30 my time. Okay, so I did put in the guide pins on that piece, but a part of me feels like I should actually install this piece now so it can actually connect with this guy, so that maybe they'll help stabilize each other. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I know that this piece goes like this. Yeah, I think this piece goes in like this. I probably should do that. I think it'll help stabilize the parts. Yeah, let's do that. Man, I got so much pins to put in. Well, I just gotta do it. Hold on, am I thinking about this straight? Oh no, this is the wrong piece. I almost glued in the wrong piece. I forgot that I'm looking at the inside of the case right now. Saper PL, good to see you. Saper PL says, hello, why not consider doing this by just putting screws into plastic? A lot of consumer electronics just does this for cost reduction. Inserts make sense just for the panels. Yeah, I think you're right. You know, I've been kind of apprehensive, or I haven't been using screws, and I think in this situation it might be the way to go. I just don't have the screws, but it's definitely something I should look into getting so that it'll make my life easier, because I think this whole gluing and guide pin system is proving to be quite cumbersome already. So definitely a good point you have there, Saber. But good to see you. Let's see. Okay. I guess I gotta put in a whole bunch of pins now. Let's go ahead and do that. God, there's a lot of pins to do. Hold on, I need to think about this. So I think some of these pins I probably didn't think through enough, where they might not even attach, just because they'll like lock themselves out, kind of. All right, let's keep going. Let's see. Worst comes to worst, I'll just like snap out the pin. Whoa, what the heck? That's so weird. It looks like the part like melted shut or something. Or maybe these didn't. Oh no, these holes are really... I may need to enlarge these holes. These ones fit though. Okay, I think I have to bust out the drill. Hold on. Yeah, I need to bust out the drill. It looks like some of the holes printed too small, so I'm gonna have to drill them out a little bit. I hope I have the right size. Let's see. I have a 564. Looks to be... I think it's close enough. 564. Let's see if this works. Oh no, I might have to like drill out a bunch of holes if they don't fit too. Alright, let me know if this is too loud. Okay, I don't want to go too deep. I don't want to go all the way through. I think that's enough. I'm only going in like 3 mils. It's a bummer that they're... Oh, this is stuck to my finger now. How come some holes work but those don't? Well, maybe it's just the orientation, or maybe it's because of... I don't know. But either way, I need to drill out some holes. I hope these are the only ones, but these are really small. That's really strange. But it drilled out easy enough. Some of those parts had super glue on them, so they're like stuck to my finger now. Oh, now I'm really worried if these holes are all gonna do the same thing. Well, guess we'll deal with it when we get to it. But let me apply some more glue. But I'll keep the drill nearby because I have a feeling that won't be the last that we'll see of the small holes. Yeah, I really should just get some like self-tapping plastic screws. I mean, obviously, like I didn't use them before because I always complained that they were like it was hard for me to like reuse some of the cases whenever I drilled or did like an actual screw. But I can't make that excuse for this one considering I am gluing the pieces together, so it kind of makes like repeatability like moot. Not something to be concerned about anymore since I'm again using glue. Okay, so those parts will go and interface with this edge. So, and then I also need to, yeah, see, I don't know if this is gonna work, but let's just try. All right, so I need to have one installed over here. And my Patreon members have seen how the case is supposed to look like. I don't think I've showed the color scheme yet, but I think the general form I have shown to them. So some of this won't be a surprise for them. And I've also been working on this like particular design for like way too long now. I think I've produced like 3 other cases after this. And sorry, 3 when I first showed this to my Patreon members, I you know, I had like a little like CAD sketch, and then but then it kind of got put in the back burner, and I think I've produced like 3 cases since, and so I've kind of just been lollygagging on it because it is quite daunting because, I mean, first off, I knew like building it or designing it that it was just not going to fit on my printer, and so I was like really kind of like kicking the can about how I wanted to put it together, and this is like proving to be really cumbersome, like worse than the heat inserts. So yeah, I think Saper really has a point. Maybe I should just like give in and use some screws. I'm taking my box cutter right now because I want to get rid of I have like this little black part. It must have been like some residual filament from a previous print. So I'm just gonna scrape it off. Not really coming off. You can't really see it, I don't think. No. Okay, we'll just leave it. I'm being too whatever about it. Let's see. Saper PL writes, standard machine M3 screw goes into PLA or PETG into a 2.8 to 2.9 hole without a problem. Just need a few walls there for reinforcement. And it continues with no self-tapping screws really needed with plastic. Huh. Okay. I'll definitely look into that. Yeah, I've never used like non-self-tapping screws in plastic, especially with a thread like M3. Like M3 is a pretty fine thread. Like I'll be using M3 for these ones, and okay, I'll give it a try. I was actually hoping to use like thinner screws, but maybe that's the way to go with that suggestion you have. Okay, so going back to this, I might as well just go. No, I don't think I need to. Okay, so I've added in guide holes inside here, so it's gonna sit like this. It's gonna go guide hole or guide pin there, guide pin there, guide pin there, guide pin there, and then more guide pins. Okay, so I think I can attempt to glue this in now. So let me go ahead and try. Really not confident about this, really. But I mean, I think it's a fun little experiment to see if we can make a case using nothing but glue. Like ideally, my original plan was actually to print this out in ABS and then use like acetone to like melt the pieces together. And maybe that is still the better play, but I actually just I didn't have the filament for it though. I did have the PETG, and that's what we're going with. So I'm just applying some glue to this surface, and I'm gonna apply some glue to the other surface as well. I'm gonna try to be careful so I don't like break this. If you've seen my streams before, I am not a stranger to breaking my prints. And fingers crossed that doesn't happen in this stream. But the morning is young. Okay, so all right, let me try to get this in. So it is going to be funky because there's so many guide pins on this. I may need to like flex a few parts to get them to like actually come in. Or maybe they just won't work. Right now it's like not wanting to really work. So that went in. Or maybe, yeah, it actually worked. Okay. They were fighting each other because like some of the pins are like they captured the panel. That's kind of what I intended, but I was a little worried that I wasn't going to be able to get it in, but looks like it's in there. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave that alone, but I think that's the plan. I think I need to just like put in one panel to like help support the other panel. Yeah, I'm not really like confident with this this gluing. Not at all. I may just like there's an edge here that you don't see. Maybe I'll just like later on when everything's put together, I'll just like take my soldering iron and do like little spot welds here and there. But otherwise, yeah, I'm not the most confident with this 3D printing. What do you call it? 3D printing glue. But we'll keep going. I'm trying to think now what my next course of action is, because so basically what you're seeing here will be mirrored on the other side with obviously this part and this part. And then, like I said in the beginning, there are some inner panels that are going to be going here and here. And so essentially they're going to be sandwiched inside, in between these two. But I think I can put the side panels on and kind of like spread it open a little bit and just ease it in there. So I think that's the plan of action I want to take. Yeah, so these are going to go like right over here. So let's go ahead and just do this other side of the side panels. But as you can see already, this is I think the actual volume is still like quote unquote small form factor, but it's definitely big. I think it's like it's definitely less than 20 liters, but like it's not like 10. Like I don't have a case here, but like I don't think it's smaller than like one of my 10 liter ones. Okay, so let me go ahead and put the pins in this one. Okay, so I got 3 in already at least. So that's good. And maybe I think that's all I need. Yeah, let's just go ahead and put it in. Okay. Let's see. Is this dry yet? I wonder. Because I do need to put glue on this edge. Let's go ahead and do that. This is so sketchy. I might not even share these files, they're so sketchy. You know what? I should have added the heat. Okay, I'll do it later. Hopefully it's like strong enough that I can put the heat inserts in without the thing coming apart or like falling apart while I am doing it. But that part, so I've just put in the mirrored portion of the side panel here. And then now I'm gonna go ahead and do the whole insertion of guide pins on this piece now. All right, Evie Designs writes, I'm noob with glues and Bondos. I put together 2 parts with Bondo and the Bondo putty was not hardening at all. Then I found out I had to use hardener in it. Yeah. Yeah, those are two-part systems, so you definitely need to put hardener in that. And also, believe it or not, so this is just super glue, Evie, and you can actually make it like cure instantly with what they call activator. I think it's called activator. I don't know what it's called actually, but basically you spray this liquid on there, and it actually allows it to like cure like almost instantly. It actually would be useful for this right now, but I don't have any activator. And I don't know where you live, Evie, but like in the past, like I live in California, I haven't seen it since, but they have Bondo that's like essentially like a UV resin that you can cure in the sun, and I love this stuff, to be honest. It doesn't sand as well as like real Bondo, but if you want to do like really quick fills, the UV activated Bondo, like I love the stuff. I don't really have any anymore, but what I do have in place of it is you can get like surfboard repair kits that are essentially the same thing. It's like a UV reactive resin. I think it might actually be the same stuff or similar to the same stuff that you would find in a resin printer. And basically, yeah, you just like lather on what you need, and then if you have like a UV lamp or a UV flashlight, it'll help cure that. Or if you live in like a climate that has sun, you could also just use the sun to like cure it. And what's nice about the particular like surfboard repair stuff that I use, that it has like glass fiber in it, and so it makes it even stronger. Like I use it for like a bunch of stuff because it's just it works as a good like filler and as an adhesive too, in a way. And it's like cures super fast if you're like in the sun. Obviously, like I don't like using it in the winter But in the summer, like it's like so fast, like how fast it cures. All right, so we got the guide pins there. Yeah, I'm kind of losing my voice here. Perdido con rumbo writes, not screwing the case. No, I'm penetrating it with guide pins this time. I wanted to try out a new method. I'm also trying to like conserve my my supply of heat inserts because I am like running out. And so I thought maybe I could try out like glue, and so far I'm not so confident with it. But let me go ahead and apply glue to this edge that we're going to be putting the next piece on. I hope I got all the guide pins. For a second, I kind of like the consistency of this glue. It's like in between like a runny and like a thick. But now that I'm working on it, actually for this particular piece, I kind of wish it was like thicker. But I think if I did have that, I just touched it. What am I doing? Okay, let me just reapply where I touched it, because I think if you don't know, like CA will actually cure faster in the presence of water, and that's why it sticks so well to our skin, because we're just perspiring, and like, that almost like stuck instantly. But let's try this again. I think last time I did these parts first. Okay. And then I pressed in these side ones. Ooh, they're not aligning. Oh, never mind. Just need to get a little push there. All right, cool. So that's in. Ooh, the top's not though. Okay. Maybe I'll have to just hold it for a little bit. I think by the time this stream is done, I'll probably end up gluing the case to my fingers. I can almost like guarantee that. But it's coming along. And if you've never seen the renders on my Patreon, yeah, you can tell it's a very weird looking case. Like the geometry is quite odd. Wait, did I just glue it to this piece of paper? I did. I probably should use like butcher paper or something underneath. I didn't really think about that. Yeah, I'm not sure about sharing this case. Oh boy. Hold on, you know what? Give me like 30 seconds. I'm gonna grab some butcher paper. Okay, I lied. It's not butcher paper, it's parchment paper. But this should be less porous, and I think it has a coating on it that that'll make it like non-stick, because it is definitely sticking to normal paper right now. So let me just go ahead and move it. I'm gonna have like paper stuck to this PC case. Okay, so I think it's dried. All right. Now before I move on, I'm going to, like I talked about, there's like these pieces that go in the middle here. So let me go ahead and add the guide pins on here so that we can install it. But as you can see though, it is a very odd looking case. And so I'm calling it the SUG-ODD. I'll put this to the side over here for now. And let's get some more guide pins in here, and hopefully I don't need to drill them out. Fingers crossed. But for the people who are watching from the US, hopefully none of you are at work, because I think it is supposed to be an official holiday. But I guess if you're like an essential worker, that's not going to be the thing, but I guess you also wouldn't be watching if you're an essential worker, I think. Just imagine like some people in like a little ambulance just watching some nerd put a PC case together. That'd be pretty funny. I'd be thankful though if they were to do that. I guess that's like dedication. I think I cut that one a little too short, but not a big deal. All right. Even more guide pins. That was so strange that I had to drill out those other ones, but these ones are fine. These ones are actually like, I mean, it was like bad 3D printing practice where I printed it out horizontally, so there was like a horizontal hole, and for some reason these ones are fine. The other one was printed like vertically, where it's like that's like the ideal way to print it, but they like came out small. I mean, maybe it's just a matter of like tuning the filament again, because like I have used no, I have used this filament before, but I didn't have to be as precise because I was using heat inserts where, like, even though the hole might be a little smaller, it's actually like sometimes a good thing, because then it's got more material for the heat insert to grab onto. But in this situation here, where I needed to put material through, like I needed more precision, so I think I do need to tune that filament. I actually had to dry this filament like straight out of the bag. It was like I installed the new filament in, and I ran like around like 50 mils of material through, and right away it just came out really terribly. It was like bubbling, and the consistency of the extrusion from the extruder was like, it looked terrible. So I went ahead and dried it for like 8 hours, and after that though it obviously came out just fine. And then just as background, I think I used about a full filament for the entire case. I think the base that you see here was what took up the most space. Oh, sorry, took up the most material. But otherwise, these parts here, they're like super fast. I think the longest print was the base, and I think it took around like, I think 4 hours. But these parts here like super fast. I think like the big side panels were like less than 2 hours, I think, just because they're all like mesh. And then heck yeah, right. Hey, nice shirt. Thank you. Yeah. I made this one. I made the other one too, like the small form factor one. My wife has a Cricut machine, and so we're able to make like a bunch of decals. I'll probably make some more too. It's fun. I like making the shirts. And this one was like, I don't know if you know, but I was trying to go for like a Nike Just Do It. I think I captured that. All right, so now that I've got the guide pins here, I will now install the little plates inside here. And my hope is that by installing them, it'll like help stiffen everything up. So hopefully that works out. I mean, I just need to remind myself like where these parts go, so that's not that. Okay, so long part is there. Man, I'm really... my confidence in this case has like just been steadily dropping. Like I don't even know if like it'll even hold components. And if it does, like I don't know how comfortable I'd be actually doing it. Well, I think this is like an order of operations issue too. I think I should have probably done the smaller side first. I'll just be quick about it because I have a feeling this won't cure right away anyways, so it's hard to see. But basically, again, there's like guide holes all over this thing, and all I'm gonna do is just align the guide hole. Oh my god, if these guide holes are too small, I'm gonna lose it. Okay, let's see. Wow. I can't get it in the hole. Oh, okay, so we got one in. Okay. Okay. Actually, I wonder, hold on, I need to be fast. I think I need to remove it and then reinstall this one. Yeah, this is like an order of operations issue. Yeah, I'm not sure how confident I am about sharing this design now. It's already posing so many problems, and I'm the one who designed it. Yeah, I mean, I have to like separate these to get them in. Okay, hold on. Hopefully that hasn't cured yet. Because there's no... Oh no, I think it has already cured. No! Hopefully it like kind of breaks. Let's see. Can it break apart? Okay, we got some shifting. I'm touching all the glue right now. And dropping all the glue. Okay, let's see. Get it in there. Okay, so now let's see if I can... There's only really one edge that's like going to be cumbersome. But once I get that in... Okay, cool. Alright, so thankfully the glue didn't set like immediately. And I was able to sneak some of those guide pins in. I really wish I could just clamp this together, but it's actually this particular portion here in the bottom is what you would call it. It is critical because I am going to be using heat inserts in there because that's what's going to attach to the base. And if you haven't guessed already, like this is going to be like a severely cantilevered design, and that's why I did opt for heat inserts for attaching the base because there is going to be a lot of force on them. Like I'm not particularly confident this design could even hold components inside. Maybe it'll just be an empty shell we can just like gawk at. All right, but let's see. I mean, honestly, this is actually going a lot smoother than I anticipated. I was telling my wife that last night. I'm like, I'm really nervous about the stream, and she was like, she's always supportive. She was saying, oh, you know, you'll be great. You always say that, and things turn out. I'm like, that's true, but this one, I think I just designed it poorly. And it's kind of the truth, but okay, so let me go ahead and start installing the guide pins for the front because I'm gonna actually glue the front panel instead of having it like removable like I usually do. I really should have added the heat inserts before I did this, actually. Oh well, it's too late for that. Let's just go ahead and keep going. Every design's whole joke coming in 5, 4, 3. I mean, you know, this stream's not sponsored, so maybe I should be more dirty. Like y'all are getting like my for the streams, you're getting like my my work mask. I should really change that. I'm not working. I should be having fun with y'all. But if something comes up, I won't hold back anymore. How about that? But for now, let's just get these in. So I did anticipate the stiff or the case to be like stiffer as the panels like get glued together. I'm just hoping it's actually like stiff and strong enough to actually hold components without breaking. But I guess we'll find out together. All right, so those are in. Yeah, now let's go ahead and stick this front panel on. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Put some glue. I know there's also another brand what I was looking at before I bought this stuff from Amazon, but the brand is like Gloop, like Gloop, and I think that's like the more popular one. I just couldn't get it in time. Like I had told my Patreon members I wanted this done by today. That was like last week, and I just didn't have time to like actually go ahead and buy it. I wonder how well that stuff works. I've never used it, so can't attest. But if anyone else has used it in this chat, let me know like if you like it or not. Maybe I'll buy a tube for a future build. Hold on. Why aren't you going in? There's just so much like precision needed for these guide pins. That's why I'm not like the happiest with this particular design. There's just so many places this could go wrong. But actually, what am I saying? We're like close to being done. What time is it? Yeah, like 10:56. I said I want to be done by 12:30. This is better than I can ask for. But it's big. Yeah, definitely. It doesn't feel like it's small form factor PC, but even though it uses like SFX Power Supply, ITX Motherboard, it does have it is designed to theoretically accommodate like a 5090 though. So I like actually maybe even bigger. I think I designed it for like a 4090. Like if you see here, this is like a three slot GPU. So yeah, man, this thing is huge. It's a lot bigger than what it was in my CAD. That's for sure. Okay, so we can let that dry off for a little bit. And hopefully it actually stays together. But it's pretty big. I think it's like, is it tall? So this, hold on, give me a second here. These are the components I wanted to put inside it, but we'll see. So this was like the frame for my ATX. This is an ATX motherboard, and this case is like bigger. It's like taller than an ATX. Well, I mean, this is a really small, compact ATX case I designed, but yeah, it's hilarious that this is like technically smaller than this thing. But I mean, the goal of this particular case wasn't about size. It was just playing around with the orientation of the case, and so I'm not gonna like fret having it bigger. Yeah, if I had some activator right now, this would be like instant, but I don't. I guess I could have gone to like a hobby store to grab some activator. But okay, I think that's good. I think what I should do before I move forward is get the heat inserts in, because that's going to be needed no matter what. So I'm going to go ahead and heat up my soldering iron. If you never watched, this is just a normal soldering iron. I do have a heat insert dedicated tip on this, and when I post the file, I'll send links out and everything for the parts I'm using. And I usually just set it to 300 degrees Celsius and just let that warm up. And I think I mentioned it before, but I'll be using M3 heat inserts for this build. And yeah, so I have these little pouches, and I'm like literally running out soon. See, how much do I need? 4. I need 4 for the motherboard, 3 for the GPU, and I do have to open up a new pack now. I think this might be like my second to last pack. I might have to just like start tearing down my cases to like retrieve heat inserts for newer cases. Or I should just like bite the bullet and buy them from Nick Mastercard. They're just like, they're literally like 3x the cost, or maybe even, no, I think it's like 5x when you're buying them from like AliExpress. But again, I guess, you know, when you consider like morals or whatever, but I don't know. It sucks, but what can you do? All right, so okay, I need 4 for the motherboard, 3 for this guy, and then 6 down here. Okay, I think that's it. Because the rest are just like really like I just need to install. I just need to do the guide pins for the top panel, and the top panel is gonna just stay in place with gravity. All right, so I wonder if I can do this so that y'all can watch. So I'll go like this. Man, this thing is huge. All right, so let's see. I guess I'll have to go like this. This might be really hard to do for the camera. I guess I can test out the durability by doing this. Ooh. All right, I'll just be careful. Oh God. All right, yeah, I'll be careful. Okay, tweezers. All right, let's try this out. Okay, I'll try not to like break the case while I'm doing this. No guarantees. Okay, actually, can you even see what I'm doing? Hold on, the angle's all off. Let me rotate it for you just a little bit. But it's hard for me to do it for the camera while I do this too, though. Oh well, that works good enough. Yeah, then you just press it in, make sure that like it's like perpendicular to the surface. It doesn't have to be like perfect, just close enough. Man, inserting these heat inserts though just feels so secure. Like, I mean, obviously I haven't even screwed anything inside it yet, but already it just seems so secure. But I think Saper is right. Like, I should get more into the habit of just using screws. Now, Saper, when you're talking about not using self-tapping screws in plastic, are you like considering like 3D printing, or is that me? Because I know that like for like injected molded stuff, like they just have like better integrity. I'm just worried about like layers delaminating if I screw them directly into the plastic. But maybe I'm just worrying for nothing. All right, let's see if it'll work this way. Actually, for a second there, I was going to design the case like this too. But I think it was just more fun the other way. And also, by having it like cantilevered like this, you did kind of reduce the footprint, even though the actual overall volume is still fairly large. Okay, let's go ahead and install the heat inserts that will attach to the base. So far, so good. Yeah, I'm sure if like an engineer actually saw this design, they'd be just laughing. But that's what's fun about being a little small scale YouTuber, I can just try out whatever and no one's really gonna care because I don't have to abide by any like stakeholders. The only person I have to satisfy really is myself. And I'm really good at satisfying myself. Alright, let's see, we got chat. It's Saper writes, talking specifically about 3D printing, some prototypes were where you want to put them together and screw this one. So of course you can over tighten this and make it loose, or it'll get loose after a few uses. Also, if this one succeeds, how about some Velcro? Maybe I'll use like I don't know if you've ever made like those like home kites where you use like newspapers and like wooden dowels, and you just basically use like watered down like cooked rice. But you know what though, I you know what, it would be funny to have like a system where you do use Velcro, maybe like, you know, like you put little like slots to like, you know, affix them together. I think that could work. But yeah, you just go crazy with this. But I mean, it is technically working. I don't trust it though. But I mean, I keep saying to like not be ham fisting your PC case, and maybe that's just like the practice you got to think about. All right, so now I'm going to be installing the heat inserts for the GPU retention cap or bracket, whatever you want to call it. But basically, this is where the GPU will be screwing into. And now that I'm saying this out loud, I do actually have to install 2 more heat inserts in the back. Now that I just remembered. Ooh, do you hear that? Hold on, let me give you some like ASMR action right now. Let me know if you can hear this. Normally these are quiet, but this one's a little loud. You probably didn't hear that, did you? Oh well, but it's making a little like crackling noise. It's pretty fun. Okay, so heat inserts. Oh yeah, 2 more. So they're going to be in the back. So basically, this cap is going to be what the video card screws into, and then this will then screw into here. So I need to put 2 more heat inserts up top there. All right, hopefully this stays put. Just going through my heat inserts. Actually, I mean, for any of the US viewers here, have you guys used AliExpress since like the tariff shiza happened? I'm curious to know like what your experience has been like. Because we definitely used like offshore purchases in the work that I was doing before, after the tariffs, and I'm not sure if it's because it was like a business account and they had like relationships, but it didn't seem too cumbersome. But then I go online and I read about other people trying to buy stuff, and it's just been like an absolute nightmare for them. So I don't know what to actually, I guess, believe or whatever. Yeah, so heat inserts are in. Let's just go ahead and get this this foot on. Okay, so I know I need to. All right, I'm going to be using, I guess, these screws. I'll be posting the link if I ever do decide to upload this particular design. Let's see, what's the size I need? I think this should work. Yeah, this should work, I think. I hope. Well, actually, is it too long? Ooh, maybe it's too long. Maybe the first one was okay. I think it's like a 12 mil. Let's see. 10 mil. 10 mil taper head. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So I need 6 of those. Okay. Put that aside for now. And I'll be So this is the same like socket that like Maker Beam uses. So I'm just gonna use like the Maker Beam screwdriver. All right, let's see if these align. I know one side should align, but I'm gonna put it a little loose and then try the other side to see if that aligns because, okay, it works. Yay. Okay, that's actually, I'm relieved. I am relieved. I was really worried there for a hot second. And by the way, if you're watching and you don't know who Saper PL is, he is an actual case designer who has sold product. I've actually purchased one of his cases before. Awesome case, the Dr. Saber. Yeah, fantastic stuff. So if you want advice or like you're seeing people chat and if you see him talking, make sure you take his words seriously because he knows what he's talking about. Yeah, and I'm just really fortunate to have him in this actual stream because awesome resource, awesome guy, awesome products. But so far, look at this, guys. So this is this was like the vision for this thing. I can take this parchment paper off. And man, it is a lot bigger than I thought it would be. But yeah, thank you, Evie Designs, right? That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's like obviously, I you know, Evie has seen the sketches, but yeah, this is wow, it's a lot bigger than I anticipated, but it's still cool. Like it's still like a very unique looking case, right? So yeah, let's go ahead and what should I do? I'm trying to debate if I need to, should I install the part? No, you know what? We don't know if the parts will work inside yet, so let me go ahead. I'm going to put it like this. I'm thinking things are still drying, so I'm just going to leave it. As you can see here, I added material. Originally, this base was going to be like super flat. And then, sorry, I just read the comment. So, heck yeah, writes the big, beautiful case. God damn it. Oh, God, the world we live in. Anyway, so I did have to add material in here to help support the case when it's actually upright. Because as you can see, like just by looking at it, like the forces that are going to be subjected here are going to be like down. And then when the forces are on this side, it's obviously going to want to pull and like rotate downwards. And so my hope is that obviously I've screwed in the base, so that should stay together. But then to help kind of like alleviate or maybe remove any of that further bending, I did add material up here to help support this like side. It's actually hard to see with that lighting, but yeah, you can see it's not flat. There actually is like surfaces here. I mean, technically, like an engineer would probably tell you to like have it supported like all the way up to the top here, so that there's less of a chance of it drooping down. But I'm not an engineer. I'm just here to have fun. So yeah. I hate that you wrote that. Heck yeah, because it's actually a really good name. I'm not gonna use that, but it's really good. It makes me angry and laugh at the same time. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go ahead and install the top panel now, because I was thinking, like, do I want to just install the components inside, but then if it breaks before we see it all put together, then I'll be a little sad. So let's go ahead and ooh, I should probably turn this off. This is still on. And burn myself again on stream. I'm gonna go ahead and install the top panel, because the top panel has to be put together as well, and then we can like put the components in, because at least we can get to see the case together as a whole before it breaks, because it could very well break. I'm not I'm not the most confident with this design. It's definitely a fun design. Like I'm like smiling looking at it. Like this is like so funny. Like I've never, like there's little cases that have this like cantilever design, but they're little. I think actually a few of those Alienwares did it too, but and with plastic and 3D printing, it's also like I think it's a different story. Um, and I probably should have actually made the mesh a little denser, but so far it's pretty good. Anyways, Saper writes, I think it looks like some kind of coffee or ice cream machine now. I can't unsee it now. You're right. You know what it is? I think Saper. I think it's just like V interior. It's kind of like a hopper feeder. So if I've never worked at like a fast food restaurant, but I've seen like the ice cream machines where basically they have like a little trough to put in the cream, and then and then inside here like you'd have like an auger, which is basically like a big screw that kind of like pumps out the stuff. So yeah, you are absolutely correct. I created an ice cream machine. Maybe I'll call it like the SUG lactose or something. Okay, well let me get this front panel on. I have to remember how I did it though. I know that I shouldn't be futzing too much with some of the. I do have like guide pin holes located in some parts where I actually don't want to glue them because it's not going to be glued. This portion is not going to be glued. Okay, I'm trying to think about how I want to go about doing this. Do I want guide pins on the case, or do I want them on the panel? I think I can't decide. Right now I'm trying to decide if I want the panel, or sorry, the top, the hat. I'll call it the hat to have the guide pins and then sliding them into the case, or do I want the guide pins? No. I think I want them on the panel. Let's do it on the panel. Okay. Anyways, what do I need? I need glue and more filament. Cool. All right. And the first thing I think I'm gonna do is the middle portion. Yeah, let's do the middle portion. So this will be the middle portion of the hat, and then these will be like the sides or top. So let me go ahead and glue these in. But so far, honestly, like I was really nervous about this last night, and I'm really glad that things haven't gone so bad yet. But I think with what we've done so far, though, I'm like super happy because I honestly expected this to be a lot worse. Oh boy, hold on. These particular guide pins are really shallow. So maybe I definitely spoke too soon. Because this is gonna look like it's not gonna be as smooth. Okay, so these ones I am gonna put like really shallow. Like this is like maybe 1.5 mil. It may be too much. So one second, I just want to see how far it goes in. Okay, no, I'm good. I think 1.5 mil is a good length. Sorry, because it's so shallow, it doesn't really want to like rest very well. So I have to kind of like use my body to brace it. Okay, so last one for this side. For the ice cream maker. I'm sure the colors are also not helping the dessert look. Cool. All right, so with those in, let me go ahead and just slather this with more glue and put it together. Okay, so definitely want to drop some in the holes here. Holes. Yeah, I don't understand why these ones are like fitting so well when that other one had to get drilled out. I think this one's even worse because not only is it like not like horizontally flat, but it's also at an angle. So I actually thought that the print wouldn't even happen, but it seems to be working just fine. Okay, all right, so then this one should just go together, but I probably should remove the hairs I picked up on it. Where is my tweezers? Here it is. Yeah, I have like a messy desk, I guess, 'cause there's like dust and hair on it. Where did it even come from? It's so weird. All right, so go ahead and line up the pin guides. Why aren't they lining up? Okay, there you go. Oop. Ooh, this is going to be a funky one, I think. Ooh, boy. Yeah, I think this situation is like where you want these to be clamped. So I think the print itself is a little warped. Like slightly warped, but it's enough that it's like giving me a headache now. Why don't you play nice? Yes, if I squeeze one end, the other end does not want to fit. Yeah, so that one will pop out if I put the other one in. I wish I had like a way to clamp them. Ooh, that one stuck to my finger. Now it's not wanting to go in. Why don't you want to go in? Oh boy. Yeah, so I think this is like the, this might be quite difficult because the parts aren't straight, I guess? Why aren't you working now? Yeah, the alignment is a little funky on this one. Or what if I just leave it upright like this? I don't think it'll even stay though. Okay, so this is actually a better way to hold it. Okay, all right, gotta bear with me. I gotta just hold it together like this. Yeah, thanks everyone for waking up, or I don't know, or maybe like missing dinner, depending where you're at, but really enjoy y'all staying in the stream. Yeah, this might take a while to cure. But with me having this much issues now, I'm having now a little worried about the next step, where I have to install these orange pieces because I won't be able to like place it on the table like I am now while it cures. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just like I'll put it in the case while it's like curing. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. But while I'm waiting, I might as well just start the guide pins for these orange pieces. So I'm gonna move this to the side. Hopefully I don't like knock it over. Move the soldering iron out of the way, and then move this guy over. All right, Perdido Conrumbo writes, apologize in advance, but what's in your printer? It looks cool. Oh, if you've never seen my other videos, this was the what is it? The SUG-QT, I think? Yeah, I'm sorry, the SUG-QT, like Queen Tariff. So yeah, SUG-QT. So basically, yeah, it's like a, how does it, yeah, so it's an STX motherboard, so you can use like an APU with it. Yeah, so it worked with this is the ASRock X300. So I had it running with I think I had it with a Athlon 3000G. And this is just like one version of the top, but the one I actually did use for the video, it had a cloth top or fabric, and so yeah. But yeah, this is like really fun. I just brought it up because like it has the same color scheme that I'm kind of going for, but well, actually no, this is a little different because it has this is like a rock PETG. I love. Have you ever used the rock PETG? I think even the PLA looks really nice. It's hard to capture on my camera right now, but there's like little tiny specks like in it. Yeah, it's hard to capture, especially with the lighting. But yeah, it works out really good. I just put it in there because again, I think the color scheme is a fun one. Like the gray, white, orange. It's fun. Could also go with like blue. Yapping away. What am I going to do? I need to add more guide pins to this guy. Okay, let's do that. But yeah, I think it looks cool too. And then Evie Design writes, trying to grill start it's not going well. Oh, you'll laugh, Evie. Like I like cheat, so I have like a pellet grill. I know like people will claim it's like not real smoking, but I'm all about convenience. And so I love my pellet grill, so I don't have to worry about what you're talking about right now. I just literally like go in my app and turn it on. But what are you making today? I made some steaks last night. Like, I definitely had the meat sweats last night too. But yeah, we got some steaks from Costco, and God, it was delicious. But again, I cheated. I used my sous vide. I'm all about convenience. But it turned out awesome. And I just like finished it off in my cast iron skillet. Or yeah, a cast iron pan, not skillet. It was delicious. Alright, I'm making picanha sausage burger hot. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. We had some picanha like maybe like 2 weeks ago. So good. Are you putting it on the skewers, or are you doing it like steak style? That's gonna be a good July 4th though, man. Hell yeah. Either way. Some picanha burgers and hot dogs. The whole shebang. Perdido Conrumbo writes, I'll watch that video later, thanks. Yeah, that's it's a fun one. It's a fun one. And actually, that particular case is like a miniature version of what I'll be building soon. And I'm actually like super excited for what I have planned for it. But it's kind of like this build where I'm going to be doing some uncharted territory. I don't know if it's going to work, but I hope it does, because if it does work, it's going to be like super fun. To the point where I might even sell the case. Like, I'll still be able to like provide the case files for free, but just like this, it's going to be kind of intensive to put together. So I actually might put the case on for sale. I'm pretty excited for it. And it won't be cheap. Okay, putting more of these guides. I made these holes so shallow that like I can't, like these things won't sit on their own, kind of. I'm like fully relying on the adhesive to like stabilize the pin inside. This one's not even like in the right orientation. But all's well. I'm hoping actually when I install this top panel on, what I'll do is I'll I'll hopefully have the pins so that it can kind of like stabilize while it's in there to like dry. Hold on, I need to make sure these are sitting right. And I try to make it easier for myself by making sure that these were just like perpendicular to the surface, but now that I'm actually building it, I should have just prioritized like more depth versus like an ease of installation, because now it's actually kind of an issue to make sure that they are sitting in there properly. Okay, what do I need to do? I need to, I'm going to put in some guide pins in, knowing that they're not going to be glued yet. And I forget how many I need to put. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay, 6. And I think they should all be pretty deep. All right, I'm not going to put glue in them yet. I'm just going to have them sit there so that when I do glue up these two pieces, I can then put it inside the case to kind of like cure in its like correct alignment. That's the theory anyways. I don't know what's going to happen. I can't get over how big this case is. It's so funny. Like, you know, when you view it in your CAD, it's always like the reference is hard to like kind of wrap your head around sometimes. And so when you finally build it, it's always like fascinating to like see like how big it is. Like for instance, yeah, like this case here, like when I'm looking at it in CAD, it's like, it's big. But then when I printed it out, I was like, wow, that's actually like really small. So I was really happy with this case. Ooh, I think I found another hole that's too small. Oh, never mind, I lied. I just had to shove it in. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and snip this. Yeah, so again, I'm not gluing these yet. I'm actually afraid that if I do glue them in now, like they're going to just like glue the case together and then I won't be very happy. So I'm just going to do it like a temporary install for now. And hopefully it's good. It's a little too long. Wait, does that make sense? Where does that go though? Sorry, I'm a little confused. I have like a hole, but I don't remember. Oh, there are. Oh, I think I have to drill these out as well. Oh, whoops. Okay, well, more drilling. Because those for some reason the flat ones like didn't come out very well. Because that one's like closed, like it didn't even look like a hole. All right, I should just do that now. Gosh, am I forgetting something? Let's see. Okay. Go ahead and yeah, there's no way. Like, so I have like a hole here, and for some reason the ones that are like flat, they're like small. So I'm wondering. I mean, it's definitely just over extrusion then. Man, I just gotta do. It's like never ending with 3D printing. You just gotta like tune this, tune that, or buy Bambulabs, but I guess the new one's a little bit bigger. I wish they just made it like 400. That'd be like sick. I'd definitely buy one. Okay. This one's like so overfilled that I can't even like really tell where the hole's supposed to be, so it might be like off now. And I drilled through. That's not good. Oh, it can't be helped though. It's like a mesh. You can't even tell. Okay, cool. All right, so that's gonna sit in there, and then now I can attempt to glue those pieces in. This actually came together pretty well. Really don't trust this glue though. Evie writes, steak style and charcoal. Oh man, that's gonna taste awesome. I will say though, like infusing flavor. I think the pellet smoker does a good job of infusing flavor, but there is just something about like the intensity and aroma given off by a charcoal grill. I want to get one, but I don't want to clean up. And sometimes I actually, well, having said that, like sometimes I do finish my steaks off inside my solo stove. Like the solo stove is really just meant for like camping and bonfires, but the heat output on that thing is like ridiculous to the point where like it'll almost like air fries whatever's on top of it. So like I've done picanha in there, Evie, and you know I've done it like the Brazilian style where you put in the skewers. And so I had it on the skewers. I smoked it for and I forgot how long, but I mean I just made sure it hit temp. And once it did though, like I had my solo stove like roaring and just had it like finished in there. My God, it was delicious. But yeah, super stoked for you. Like I got a little shindig I'm going to like in an hour. I don't know if they're gonna have barbecue, but it should be fun either way. All right, so now I'm going to hold on one second. I need to figure out which how do these go on. I think this is like this. What am I doing? I can just throw it in there. Okay, so I know that this goes like that, which it does. And then I think, yeah, okay, cool. So that does go like that. Okay, so I'm gonna try to do this like all at once, I guess. Ooh, almost had a fail there. Oh man, my heart skipped a beat. All right, so I'm gonna put some glue to get this top panel on. And then I'm just gonna dribble them on here. And then, whoa, weird, it like stuck to the piece while I was laying down the glue. Okay. Okay, so that's got the glue applied. And what I'll do is kind of hold it where it's supposed to be. Actually, it might be better if I do this actually. Hold on. Wait a second, I'm like confusing myself right now. Okay, so I know it's gonna go here. And I know that actually this is gonna be flat, so I could just have it cure this way actually. Yeah, let's do that. All right, so I'm gonna have it cure that way. So I'm just gonna lay it down and hopefully the pins align. Okay, so that side's in. Okay, that's in. Oh, look at that. That's a cool way to like put it together. And I know that this is like flat, so this is actually like ideal. Okay. Now just wait. We'll just wait. Heavy Designs, it's big. It's huge. I think this might be like one of my biggest cases actually. Yeah, this is not acceptable for small form factor PCs. That's for maybe that's because I'm wearing this shirt today. Yeah, I didn't do any like the volume measurements before I even started printing, so honestly I just didn't want to because like it's just got a weird shape. It's not a box. It's not an easy like rectangular like volume formula. That's why I didn't even bother. But it's huge. It's got to be like nearing 20. All right, so I'm gonna put it in. I don't think I'm doing this right. Hold on. Okay. I just want to have it like, ooh, yeah, it moved. I want it to draw. Oh, I did it backwards. Oh my god. Oh my god. No, you stay in place, you son of a gun. Oh my god. No, that one also came apart. This glue is a little funky. Like, I don't know if it like melted the plastic. I did it backwards again. What am I doing? Yeah, you're seeing it all, folks. You're seeing the fails. Okay, hold on. Okay. Well, that came apart. Oh boy, hold on. Maybe I should have just left it alone while it was on there. I may have like compromised this. I think I did. Hold on, let me just put it back together. Okay, so that's in, and that's in. Maybe I should just be patient, or, well, no, I do want it to dry in here, though. How am I going to do this? Okay, so let me try this again. So I'm going to be a bit more careful. So I know that this edge goes there, so I have to put it this way. Okay. Ooh, just kind of pressing it together, placing it in. And it just dropped, of course. Hold on, I think I can just align the pin. Okay. Pin aligned. And then is there a pin here? I should also align. It's not aligning. Yeah, I had a feeling this was going to be like the most difficult part, is like getting these aligned. And it's proving to be very true. Okay, so my hope is actually just to get these in, and then what I'll do is I'll turn the case upside. My god, hold on, maybe I should just like leave it upside down. I might have to reapply this glue. Appreciate y'all's patience. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to put some more glue. I'm going to run a bead like in between here. I was going to do it after when everything was kind of dry, but I think this might need it now because I have been like moving it around. But thankfully this part here is not load bearing, so I don't care if it's fragile. It just needs to stay together because it's not really holding any of my PC parts together, nor is it adding to the actual integrity of the case, so I'm not super concerned. Okay, but let me see if I can at least get it aligned in here. Okay, so there's that. That is really finicky. So right now all I'm doing is just like trying to align the dowels. And they're not really aligning that well. Come on. Be my friend. We can be friends. Oh, a dowel came out. That's probably why. Yeah, a dowel did come out. Because I didn't glue it. How do I put my hand in here? It's really hard to get my... Hold on. Okay. Watch is coming off. Gotta kind of fist it. No, I can't do that. No, what am I saying? The my forearm is too big to go through the motherboard hole. But again, I'm not like I'm not really trying to like glue this in place. It's more about just making sure that the alignment is more or less correct. And I think if I just let it cure like this, it should be okay. I'm just more concerned that it's not like super aligned in the front here. Like, is there a dowel there? I'm like debating if I want to flip it over just to like make sure that it's like aligned properly. I think I can. Ooh, hold on. So, I mean, that's okay. I think it's okay. Okay. Just as long as it dries properly. All right, I'm gonna let that dry for a little bit, and then we'll come back to it. But more or less, the actual case assembly is done. It's just very funky. And then I guess I will install what do you call it? I'll install a PC inside here. I am debating though, because I know it is designed for, excuse me, burping here. It is designed with a 120 millimeter AIO in mind, but it's also capable of doing just normal air cooling. That's why it's so thick actually. Actually, no, the thickness will happen because of the 3-slot GPU, because you can tell that it's all symmetrical. Actually, let me change the this wide angle so you can see more of it. You don't see my face. Yeah, so you can tell it's just like it's a symmetrical form, but because of that, hold on one second. Like, the internals actually drove like how thick parts should be. So like, because it is a mirror and like the video card and the motherboard are like 90 degrees to each other, whenever I shrunk one part, the other part would also shrink. And for a while, it was a lot thinner because I was only going to have it accommodate just for 2-slot GPU. But then I thought, hey, why don't we go ahead and try to have it for a 3-slot? And by doing that, it definitely got thicker. But I mean, it's not a bad thing too. Like, even if I use a 2-slot GPU now, it's going to be a little bit better because the fans won't be so close to the panel. But you can tell though, like, by making this 3-slot, it then made this part thicker. So in actuality, I mean, you can see from the inside like how tall the standoffs are. Like, this is one standoff. Like, normally you only have like 7 or 6.5 millimeters of standoff between the motherboard and the case, but yeah, this one's got a lot more. You actually could technically fit like some solid state drives underneath the motherboard now because there's so much space. But we can put that on later. But for now, I really just want to make sure that the thing worked in general. But I think it's got enough time to dry. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the top panel so that we can get those dowel pins or the guide pins in a little bit better. But overall though, I mean, this is let's just revel in this before I break it. Yeah, this is the case though. I think it's pretty fun. Actually, you know, it's funny. Look what I got recently. Give me a second here. It's like a turntable. Let me see if I can use it. I've never actually like used it. That way, when we're gawking at the case, it'll be more like you don't have to like listen to me rotate it and stuff. That's never fun. Give me a second here while I plug it in. And it should just like turn. That's a little fast. I don't know how to do the speed. Oh, that's right, left. Okay. Okay, I think this is the speed. Okay, let's put it on here, and let's see if it actually holds the weight of it. It should. Oh yeah, look, here we go. We can just like gawk at it for now before I break it. I'm not really sure if it'll like work with the PC components, but we can look at it in all its glory for its like design intent. And then I'll put in the parts and hopefully it actually stays intact. But it is like, I think it looks sick. It's a little big. I'll give it that. But overall, though, I think the like when you look at it, it's like, again, like someone said, it looks like an ice cream maker or like a coffee maker. But I think that was the whole intent, was to kind of like design a PC case that wasn't so like, I guess, regular. It definitely made it like a lot bigger, which is not like my jam usually. But I think it's super fun. Move this out of the way too. Yeah, but it is definitely big. All right, but enough looking at it. Actually, maybe I'll like leave it running for a little bit more in case I want to upload this recording. But it's pretty fun. Like, what do you guys think? I don't know where it would live. It'd be really funny to have on your desk. But let's get it off. And I'm going to go ahead and put some PC parts into it. Put that there. Alright, so I think the case is dry now, or the top panel should be dry now. Hopefully. Not really. Yeah, not the most confident with this this top panel, to be honest. Oh well, what can we do? Let's see. I know that one of the guide pins popped out, so I need to go ahead and do that. And what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and glue the guide pin in place now. So I guess I should get some tweezers and get these guide pins out. I'm just gonna put this over here. All right. Okay. Yeah, it looks like I lost like one of them. Must have dropped on the ground somewhere. That's usual in the stream though. Stuff getting dropped on the ground. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put some glue there. And my hope is that this dries by the time I need to put the top panel back on. Because otherwise, if it's still wet and then dries when I put the top panel on, I'm gonna have a top panel that's stuck. And that's not gonna be fun. Okay. So that's that. Sheesh. Get in there. Okay. I might need to trim some of these down. Okay, so while that's drying, I'm gonna go ahead and try to install the PC components. I put this over here for now. Okay, so first things first, I think I should install the power button. So this uses just a normal 16mm power button. Now let's get that in there. All right. And I went with like a silver one. Normally I have a bunch of like black ones that I use, but I think the silver works well with the orange. It's not as contrasty. And let me just snake these cables in. I guess I could turn it around. Maybe you can see what I'm doing. Maybe. Kind of. Okay. Yeah, so these, I mean, yeah, I'm sure you've probably used these before. They're just like, it has like a locking screw. Okay. This particular model lights up when you do press it, but I don't think I have the wiring set up for that. I think I broke the wiring. Okay, so now, yeah, so I think for this one, I'm gonna stick with air cooling for this one. Maybe I'll install the radiator just to like show that it's supposed to go in there. Hold on, I'm just gonna give a little press to make sure. You know, I probably should have added way more supports for it though, because it is still pretty flexy. If you like press down on it, it's still kind of lifting this piece up, and it really could have been because I didn't add that lower or the bottom layers for the print, and I think it's actually like really compromised the part. I was trying to like beat a deadline. That's why I didn't do it, because having the bottom layer added, like, I think it was like an hour or something, and I literally just finished some of these prints like last night, and so the schedule was tight. I really wanted to have it done by today, because believe it or not, I'm trying to print out another case by like Tuesday, so I just had no time. But now I kind of regret. I should have just done that extra hour, because it's definitely not the most stable. Ooh boy, let's see how it goes. Okay, let me go ahead and remove all the components from the current case. Just leave this here for now. Yeah, I'll just leave that there. And transplant them inside. So I think this build is, I think it's a 5700G with a, got a weird combo. I think it's like a 3080, yeah, 3080. So 5700G AMD APU, but it also uses, what do you call it? I've also got the RTX 3080 inside this one for now. And I'll be using the stock cables that come with the SF750. So just to remind you, basically this is going to be using an STX Power Supply, which is what we have here, which is the SF750. I do have some like custom cables for it, but we will not be using those. Let me show you what I'm doing, but it's not much, not really like critical, but I'm just removing the cables. I don't know why this one's giving me a hard time. Wow, that was really hard. Why are these so tight? Okay, so I got that out. And alright, so I can just start taking it apart now. I guess I can start with the power supply. And if you don't know, this particular frame is it's a Maker Beam frame for when I made it for ATX. If you haven't seen those files, that's actually a really fun one. This was the retro build where it made it look like it was an old, like 1990s PC. I thought it was a lot of fun. and it was like sub 20 liters, so it still qualified as a small form factor. Obviously, it was bigger. It's big, but the fact that it had like ATX motherboard, like full size GPU. It even used a full size ATX power supply too, so it was no slouch. It was a lot of fun. And let me go ahead and remove the motherboard now. I do need to change out the cooler, because this cooler is too big for this case. I'll be throwing in like the Noctua L9A inside there. If I remember correctly, I think this case also was able, depending on the video card you're using, like if you had a shorter length video card, you could fit in a 240 millimeter AIO, but I believe I designed it just for like a slim cooler, like the one I'm going to be putting on soon, or a 120 millimeter AIO for water cooling. Okay. I won't need this fan. Well, I guess, you know what, maybe I can just put it in, but we'll see. So I'm going to put this motherboard here for now. And what do I need to do? I need to take off this cooler and then install the lower profile one. Okay. So go ahead and do that right now. I have like 30 minutes left, and then I definitely got to log off. But thank you everyone for sticking around though. I know it's like a holiday, so I'm sure you all are busy. Okay, so this is pretty stuck on. That's usually the case though. Being used for a while. Okay. Hopefully I can take it off this time. No! This always happens with this cooler for some reason. This is the stock like Wraith cooler for AMD, and for some reason it just like loves to stick to the GPU. Normally, like, if it's warmer, it'll come off pretty easy, but I guess it's not warm enough. It does not want to come off. Hold on one second. Maybe what I can do is place it like this, because this has to come off anyways. Okay. I just had some sticky stuff on it. And hopefully now I can rotate this a little easier to help break that tension between the two. Yeah, okay. Okay, cool. And this is definitely the 5700, I think. Okay. All right, put that there. We'll grab the other cooler now. Yeah, so this is the Noctua L9A, built for AM4, which is what this computer is. And I don't suggest doing this, but I'm going to do it anyways. I am going to be reusing some of the thermal paste, because I mean this is like temporary. I don't feel like wasting any more thermal paste than I have to. If you watch my other stream, I think it was one of my like really small cases where I think it's called the SUG-ODD. I remember I did like a temporary install of another cooler on there, and like I think during the stream it turned on just fine, and then after a while it like shut off And then I forgot that I didn't even apply any thermal paste at all on it. So I think this is better than nothing because at least there's thermal paste. Yeah, I was like running it dry in that stream, and like it had auto turned off. It was so like sketchy. I was like, wait, why isn't it working? But it worked out in the end because I found out what was wrong with it, thankfully. I really thought I had like broken parts of the PC. Thankfully I didn't. Okay, so it's going to be, actually I think I might need to remove the RAM. Let's remove the RAM while I install this. Actually, I'm wondering, maybe this RAM won't even fit. I guess we're gonna find out. This is pretty tall RAM. Okay. And I think I want to install it this way. Okay. Oh, what am I doing? I haven't installed the back plate on it yet. This is what you get for rushing. But I feel like I'm kind of pressed for time now. Okay. That should work better now. Okay, that's good enough. And let me see if this RAM will fit. Otherwise, I'll have to like use some other RAM. Okay. All right, so RAM, CPU's in, hard drive's already in there. Let me go ahead and install this all inside the case now. And I guess I'll figure out whether or not I need that RAM removed because it is tall RAM. Okay, so I didn't even think about this, but this is kind of a funky. Oh no, I need to install the. I almost screwed up there. The power supply has to go in first, and it's probably, well, I mean, it's not best practice. It has to be done. I think you need to install the power cords in first. This way. Because otherwise, once the video card and the motherboard are in, I don't think the power supply can go inside. So I'm gonna go ahead and, well, not yet. I forgot about these guys. All right, so GPU and the other GPU. I actually have not even measured whether or not this will even like reach. So maybe we can, we'll find out if this stream's going to end early or not, based on whether or not I can even get it installed. I'm assuming it'll fit. I mean, the case is big, but not like that big. So I think these cables will even work with, they'll even work with like an ATX case, not just like small form factor. Okay, so as you can see, I've slid in the power supply inside there, and need some screws. All right, got my screws here. And then if you were here in the beginning, like you saw me glue this bottom piece to the top piece on the back plate. And like I wasn't so worried about that particular connection, because the moment we screw these in, it'll actually just hold the two parts together already. So like once we have that one corner in, and then the moment we attach any of the other screws, we essentially kind of hold the parts together. Like once, because like in a way, that's the wrong screw. In a way, the power supply becomes like sort of like a load bearing unit. Oops. Yeah, so once this like any of the top or the bottom ones are together, now like the bottom piece really can't go anywhere, because it's now kind of like attached to the power supply. You know, normally I only put in 4, but let's put all 6 in this time around. And I did try to keep the power supply like lower to help with that center of gravity, but looking back now, I remember I made this one particular like test bench, and it did not fare well in terms of the center of gravity. But yeah, so the power supply is in, and now the next step is going to be the installation of the motherboard. So let me go ahead and just situate these cables. Okay, so I'm just like kind of separating the power cables for the GPU and the motherboard. All right, so normally when you're installing like a case, like you can have gravity kind of help you out with the installation of the motherboard, but because it is at an angle, we won't have gravity to help us out. I'm just gonna install the IO plate on here. Makes it look a little complete. Yeah, so look at that. I mean, the more you have the IO plate in there, it really starts looking like a real PC case. All right, so I'm gonna get these screws ready, because I kind of have to like hold the motherboard in place while I screw it in. It'll be a little funky. Hopefully it works. All right, I'm gonna get this screw ready, and it might be a little hard for me to do on camera, but I'll try. So I'll just turn it around, and hopefully you kind of get an idea of what's happening. All right, so motherboard is now going to be attempted to be installed in here. Get this out of the way really quick, and hopefully I can get it lined up so that it goes in. Give me a second. I forgot I need to slide it in here for the IO. Okay, IO's in. First screw is in. I'm gonna keep holding it and grab another screw. Keep supporting it. And then, cool. So 2 screws are in. So far it's holding up, but I think I do need to remove this RAM. I think it is too tall for the, it'll be too tall for the top panel to go on. It's kind of a bummer, because it is kind of cool to have the RGB sometimes. Now I'm just lining up the bottom mounts to be screwed in. I think you can kind of see it. Let me see. There we go. Yeah, it's just screwing it in, not much really to see. Now I'm just really hoping that the CPU 12 volt cable will actually fit. I may have, I probably should have just snaked it underneath. Actually, I think I might have space to do it now. Let's see. I do. There's so much space underneath this motherboard. I normally don't have this much space. So I'm able to actually just like go underneath it and then route this 12 volt CPU cable underneath the motherboard to make it a little tidier. Look at that. See, now I have it underneath the motherboard, and now it's able to like go the way through, which is nice. Ooh, actually, hold on. I may need to, did I not measure that correctly? Okay, never mind. I was worried that the cable was gonna stick out, but for sure I think the RAM is gonna be, yeah, I think if you look at how it's aligned, do you see that little corner sticking out from the RAM? That means that it's gonna be hitting, so I need to change out the RAM. I do have, or maybe, yeah, I think what I can do is just like, hold on, I do have RAM. Give me a second. Let's take this RAM out. No RGB for this one. And let's see, where is that? Ah. I do have like some RAM that I had as like a backup. Some really cheap RAM, but it's RAM, and it'll be fine for this. So Saber P, right? You do have a Dremel. I do. I actually could just like unscrew the plate off it, but let's just put this one instead. Not a big deal. I don't feel like dremeling right now. I feel like I've already been like sucking too much fumes from all the gluing. No need to add bigger particulates in the air. Yeah, you're right. I could have just taken off the heat spreader that has the RGB built in. Because that one's actually, when I purchased the RAM, it never had the RGB. Like the RGB is like an add-on. Okay, but now RAM is in. As you can see, it's definitely a lot lower profile than the RGB. It's good to have some extra RAM. I think I got it on sale for like $20 for like 16 gigs. So gladly use it. And then go ahead and install the CPU fan connector. I always forget which one it is. I think it's the one that's closest to the back. Yeah, cool. So far with the motherboard in, that's the motherboard in. And then, yeah, time to get the GPU. Oh no, let me get this power cable in actually. Ooh, is the power cable gonna clear? Oh God, I really hope so. Otherwise, this is gonna be, wow, this might be a little tight. I think it should work. Yeah, it should work. Should. Okay, while I'm in here too, I might as well install the power switch too. And we might be able to turn it on. It's already 12:17. I do need to stop at 12:30, but I think I can get this done in like 10 minutes or so. Just installing this power switch. And I probably have to drive in traffic to get to where I need to go. Okay, so this part's a little funky. I'm going to be installing the video card now. And I don't know how much, what's the best way to have you all view this, but yeah, so 3080. It's got some white gunk on the back. So it's your best guess what that white gunk is. But let me go ahead and get this in here. Okay. All right, so It does slide in. And technically, you should be able to fit like a 320 millimeter GPU in here. No, you definitely can. You might need to change out the. I'll show you in a bit. Let me just go ahead and install the bracket here so that it's like supported. Oh, hold on. How was I gonna do this again? I guess I'll need two of these. And do two of those, and then one of these long ones. Oh, we're so close, everyone. Thank you so much for sticking around, too. I know these can take quite a while. Just gonna loosely install this. Oh, wrong driver. Okay, just so that it doesn't go away from me. I do have like a funky method for the GPU. I've seen it done in normal cases too that aren't 3D printed, but for this one, it was kind of the option I had, where basically, normally when you're installing a video card, you do it from the top with the screw, but for this one, we'll be doing it from the bottom. I've done it in my other cases too. Yeah, a little different, but it still works. I'm gonna go ahead and actually this might be hard for me to show on camera. I'll just show it when it's done, but I kind of need to get underneath here to see it. Wait a second. My holes aren't lining up. What? No way. Hold on. Did I? Why aren't they lining up? No way. Wait, hold on. I think I need to redesign this bracket. It's like way off. Like completely off. That's so strange. Hold on. Let me remove this thing and just install it so that it'll at least support it gravity-wise. But it is super wrong. I need to completely redesign this bracket. It's like nowhere close. That's so weird. Well, I screwed up. I mean, I think I can still get it in, sort of. Hold on. I'm just trying to like support the video card while it's in there. I'll just let it go for a little bit because it's on an angle right now. But basically, I guess I screwed up the measurements on this. I wonder what happened. I normally don't get that one wrong. But it is wrong right now. It is very wrong. I think in my last stream, I printed out Evie Design's case. And I think I gave him crap for like having his mounting pattern wrong on his video card, and here I am with probably a worse situation than he did though. How is that so off? What the heck? I wonder if my assembly got moved. And maybe I did move it. Oh, well, that's something I need to look into. I don't know. I have to bust out my caliper and rulers again, which sucks. That's really off. Wow. Well, anyways, it'll at least still go together. It just sucks that it's like so far off, though. But that's why we do test prints like this. And luckily, the only thing I had to redesign is just the bracket, not the actual case itself. Because I made it so that the bracket can be modified without having to modify the rest of the case. Okay, just one more power cable and we are good to close it up. Okay. Cool. All right, so let me see if I can give you all a view of this, but maybe I should just, man, I'm so like bummed that I got that bracket wrong. Obviously it still holds, but it is far from secure. Yeah, I like totally missed the holes by like, I want to say like 2 millimeters. I'm actually like really confused why that's wrong, because like I haven't touched that model in forever, and all my other cases were working fine with it. So I don't know what happened. Huh. Anyways, basically, I showed you the inside with the power supply installed, and now we've got the motherboard, video card, cooler, and originally I did want like a 120 millimeter AIO in there, but we're just gonna forego that for now and just get this top panel on. And we've got 5 minutes, and I need to get going, so it's actually perfect timing, I think. Here's the top panel. It should be fully cured now, and let's see, and it should close. Should. So that's aligned, and that's also aligned, and then we'll need to trim down one of these. It's a little tall. Okay, so that's now trimmed. I think this one also needs to be trimmed. We're just sitting a little too proud. Okay. Okay, so that's there. That's there. And this one will be a little weird because the GPU bracket is not correct. But with the top panel on, that's how the top looks like. And yeah, that's the case built. I mean, I suppose I could turn it on. We've got like 3 minutes. Yeah, 4 minutes. Let's just turn it on. Just like, I mean, I don't know why I don't know what we'll learn from turning it on, but might as well turn it on. I bet you any money though, it's gonna have to relearn the RAM that I just put in. So we might have to wait for that, but let's just do it. Sorry, I'm just installing the USB. Okay, USB's in. I just installed the Wi-Fi antenna as well. And then let's plug her in and turn it on. It might take a while to boot up just because I did change the RAM, and whenever you do that, the motherboard has to like reinitialize and set the timings. So I think the timing I had is going to be different than what the new RAM is going to be. But at least we'll hear the fans turn on. Alright, so 3 minutes. Let's face it this way so y'all can see. Put that there. And then bring this power cable back here. Plug it in. Definitely drew power, but I just saw my lights flicker a little bit. But I guess right now it's like considered a win in a sense that I really thought when I was putting it together that the case might not hold itself up, but so far it's been good. And it's just like a simple USB-C monitor. Gonna plug in the HDMI and USB to power it. All right, and it should be good to go. This won't turn on as far as the lights, but it is on. We've got 1 minute. This might take a while to boot. I do hear it though. And technically the GPU should be like roaring right now, because I think I had the GPU at like 100% fan. But it's likely just cycling through the RAM right now. Yeah, I see the LEDs like kind of blinking in there for the motherboard. But otherwise though, that's the case. It is just a proof of concept. I wanted to know if it'll even like hold itself up, and we did prove that. And the other trial was just to see if we could glue a case together, and we did just that right now. And State Review, do you smell ice cream? I wish it smelled like ice cream. Maybe we could put like a diffuser inside here. But this thing is huge. But super stoked on it. And I think it's still cycling through the RAM because it's not booting up. Or maybe I just unplug it. Sometimes it does this. It's really weird. I have like an HDMI to USB-C converter on here, so maybe it needs like a few cycles. I didn't even see it post. Or maybe my PC's broken. I don't know. I don't think so though. I think it really is like it needs to. I should have cleared the BIOS or something. But it turns on, and we are out of time. But thank you so much for sticking around. If you liked it, make sure you hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, make sure to do that, or else you're going to miss some of the newer cases I'm going to be putting out soon. So I do have to rush off, but thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all very, very soon. So if there's no other questions, I'll end the stream and get going with my day. And happy July 4th for the Americans watching, and have a good day for the rest of y'all. So thank you so much. And yeah, I hope you're as stoked about this as I am, because, you know, we did have some troubles with it, but I think it's a very unique looking PC case. I'm not worried about thermals because, I mean, essentially it's an open air design. The GPU has tons of air access to it. So does the CPU. So yeah, kind of stoked. Kind of really stoked on it. Cool. All right. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you all very, very soon. All right. Bye.